I'm going to put us on mute so there can be no more tricky questions. And then we'll get going. Right. We are recording. I'm going to put everyone on mute. I'm going to put us on that view. Right. Good. We're good to go. Someone's just arrived. With the feet parallel, just going to bounce up and down. Bring the awareness into the lifting of the chest, opening up the whole front of the body. Dropping the head, lifting the back of the head, plucking up the crown. Let the shoulders drop because the whole body softens to allow the shoulder to drop and the arm to drop. Open up the chest, roll the shoulders. Well, let's do this warm up. Let's just do this one warm up. Dropping the head, pulling up the pubic bone so the back is arched. Breathing in. And at the top of the in-breath, drop the shoulders behind you, drop the weight of the arms lightly behind to open up the chest, drop the head lightly behind you and looking up and breathing out. And as you come to the end of the posture, make sure you're relaxing the weight of the arms, let the arms drop to the ground in this position. So you stretch open the back, breathing in. And find your own timing with this so you're moving at the same speed as the breath. Breath wants to leave the body, feel the body soften, blend the movement with the breathing. We don't often work with the breath. Wait for the in-breath. Feel the chest expand. Follow it with the movement. Feel the full stretch of the big deep breath in the lungs. Let the bellows of the lungs release. Three or four more breaths. And this one, make sure the legs are nice and softening. The body settles onto the ground, into the base. Base stays connected as you come up. So the legs lightly activate. The legs release. The hips seat. The body softens. The body releases. And one more. And release. First loosening exercise. Principles, the body's upright. The movements are smooth and changing continuously through the body. The body's moving accurately, facing the corner, all the weight on one leg, upright, head, shoulders, body to the corner. Turning smoothly, releasing smoothly. Coordinating the movements so that the turning and the release happen at the same time. These are the things you want to try and observe in your practice. And you can get the sensations for yourself. You can say, ask a question of any of those aspects. Am I upright? Yes or no? Okay, put yourself upright. Am I released? Or am I collapsed? Am I holding on? Any of these principles you can ask a question of. So when you get into this position, am I fully released? No, the shoulder there's a whole load more that can relax in that shoulder. So no, I'm not fully released. So next time I'll ask the same question. If you notice something that isn't changed, ask the same question. Shoulder, is it changing? Yes, now it's changing. Great. But now my leg's tight. Okay, so you ask the same question now of the leg. So when I move on to my left leg, can I change my leg in such a way now it's not tight? Now my shoulder's changing and I'm upright. Great. All those things are now coming together and overlapping. And I'll ask the next question about my smooth changes. Are the changes happening smooth and continuous? Yes, that's okay. And on the other side? Yes, that's okay. And I'll ask question on all the principles in that way until I can monitor what I'm doing. And over time, because it may not be possible to do it all in one 5-minute exercise, but in time, monitor and change what I'm doing. And if the ankle continually tightens or the lower back doesn't move, these are the places I put more focus on. And it's like I want a blowtorch to kind of like warm up that area and make it change. So the blowtorch is my focus, my intention, to concentrate my focus in that area, to feel the sensations in whichever area I notice is changing or I want to change, and maintain a focus there and maintain the monitoring and asking the questions. Because, and I'll say this again and again, we only practice for a short period of the day. We only practice for what we can give ourselves in a day. And it's never long enough. We never feel it's long enough. So in that short time, we want to create as much change and as much understanding as we can get out of it. So rather than just being casual about it and moving in a very light, half listening way, really try and be fully listening. Listen to your body fully. Feel the sensations. And try and bring the principles of the practice into what you do again and again. And monitor. Am I turning from the center? Are my arms following the movement of the center? You know, and the nice thing about Tai Chi is, in a way, it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, because the more you look and the more you try and change, the better it gets, regardless of whether it's right or wrong to start with. We'll do number 2. You just keep looking and keep asking the question, staying mindful of the sensations, and mindful of what to ask as well. And as you get more and more comfortable with the practice, more and more your own practice, you'll know what to ask of yourself. You'll know what to expect is a good, reasonable question to ask. You'll know how to listen to the sensations in your body that give you the answers or the monitoring of those questions. And you'll be able to experience the results of bringing all these principles together. Do I feel grounded? Do I feel settled? Do I feel calm in myself? This is the aim, to bring all these principles so they mean something, not just for the hell of learning it. They mean something in our daily life. So that I'm in control, or I've got some access to how my mind works, where I put my mind, how it sits in my body, so that when I really need to use that focus, I can gather it and bring it to the table. When you really need to be present, you can be. You can find a deeper reserve. It gives you a deeper access to parts of yourself that you find through Tai Chi. A stabilizing factor that you find through your practice of Tai Chi. A grounded practice. A still quality in movement. So when somebody needs you, when someone's having a hard time, you can be fully present with them. When you need to up your game, be very active and be very dynamic, you can be. When you need to take responsibility, you can do. These are the quality of Tai Chi that can come into daily life. I'm making sure I'm upright. I'm making sure my body's releasing. I'm making sure my legs change first, allowing the rest of the body to follow, and the shoulders last. So there's a sense of oozing down through my body. It's not just that my shoulders change, it's that my whole torso is following what my legs are doing, because my legs are creating space into which my body can drop. As my body softens, it creates space into which my shoulders can drop. I want to feel that something is moving inside the body, not just the body going up and down, not just the external body of the body going up and down. What's taking place? How are the muscles melting to allow the weight of the torso in? How are the muscles changing in the chest and the back to allow the weight of the shoulder girdle in? So the body comes together and connects. Because if I'm not taking something away here in this exercise, when I come to the form and I move from the back leg to the front leg, I need to be doing the same, taking away. I need to be changing the muscle in such a way that allows the weight of the body in. I need to be softening the muscles through the torso that allows the shoulder girdle to come in. So the body connects. Because when the body connects, the waves of force can pass through the body. The body has to be connected, and it has to be very loose to allow the force to pass through it. If the body isn't connected, the force can't pass through. If the body's holding on, the force can't pass through. So the body needs to be very connected and very loose, and then the force from the ground can pass through the body and out to the fingertips. And if there's any tightening of the muscles, if there's any holding on, if there's any out of alignment, that wave isn't going to pass through the body. So we use the waves of force as an indication how to train to keep the body very gentle, soft, aligned and buoyant so that the force can pass through. So when we find these postures at the end of the movement, the body's fully dropped, it's very loose. If wind would blow through the room, the body would sway, and yet it's very connected and very buoyant. And these are the sensations we're looking for at the end of the postures. Number 3. sinking, lower back's opening, chest softening, shoulder dropping, turning. Questions to ask: am I upright? Am I in the middle? I'm not moving across onto the leg. I'm staying in the center. Is the leg changing to allow the torso in? In the same timing that I'm turning, that's the timing that the arm's lifting. So I know that by the time I finish turning, which is now, the arm's got to be in that position. Shoulders coming forward, sinking and lifting. Everything finishes together. Turn back. Sinking, releasing, turning, lifting, connected. Loose. Obviously, I'm not completely loose. If I was completely loose, my arm would fall. There's got to be some dynamic, alive tension in the muscles of the arm to even lift it from there to there. There has to be tension in the body, but it's not completely relaxing. It's releasing unnecessary holding. So we don't want to be in a position that's holding on. We want to be in a position that's still loose. And if a wind would pass through the room, the body would sway. This is the condition we're looking for. Released, connected, grounded, upright, connected. These are the principles, basic principles, that unless the basic principles are close to being true, you can't go further with Tai Chi. If your body's not upright or it's tense or it's holding on, you can't go further. You have to work at that level to unravel the reason and why your body is not responding in the way we're asking it to. And that takes lots of washes through, monitoring what we do, practice, monitoring, asking the right questions, washing. Every move we do is like washing our body clean. Clean's the wrong word because it's not dirty or clean. And it's not really right or wrong. It's just more experiencing how we are, what our habits are, and how they control us, and how we can wash them away. And if we're too held, that's one thing, but we can also equally be too collapsed, too soft, too loose, too floppy. And it's neither one nor the other. It's a balance between the two. We need to have a dynamic aliveness through the body. And number 4. If you find your mind is wandering and you just find yourself going through the motions, bring it back to the sensations of the body. Bring it back to what am I feeling right now? Try and remain present to the sensations you feel in your body. All the meditation practices that I know in any of the traditions that I've done some of, based on either feeling the sensation of the air leaving the body through the tip of the nostril, or the sensation of the abdomen rising and falling with the breath, and the grounding your focus in the body sensations, always, always, always the way back home and the way to ground yourself if your mind is wandering off. So likewise with Tai Chi, We ground our presence, our mindfulness in the body sensations. Feet on the ground, the knees connected, the hips seated, body upright and released. Not as a static organization, but as a dynamic sensation through the body. What happens in the feet as I release the whole body? What's the sensation? Can I change my legs to draw the torso in, which allows the shoulders in, which causes the arms to move, rather than just moving the arms independently? Can I connect the change in the legs, the change in the hips, the change in the torso, the change in the shoulders to the change in the arms, to the movement in the arms? Can I make this link? Can I find how to change the legs in such a way that eventually the arms are going to follow that process? That's what I'm asking myself to do, so the arms don't move by themselves. And we tell beginners in Tai Chi, never move your hands by yourselves. And it takes training and looking and moving and asking, why do I still keep wanting to move my hands by myself? What am I doing that I'm not feeling how to create the changes I'm actually asking my body to do? And my job as an instructor is to repeat again and again and again and again. And your job as a practitioner, if you follow the system that we're teaching, is to equally ask yourself again and again and again, can I make the changes in my body that affect my fingertips, not by moving this muscle here, not by contracting the biceps to move the arm in, but the shoulder has to change first. The shoulder has to change to move the arm. To move the shoulder, something has to happen through the torso. To move the torso, something has to happen in the hip joints, the quad, and to move those, the legs have to change. So the body has to move sequentially. To move the fingertips, the feet have to change first, and the rest of the body follows. And when that's working smoothly, Tai Chi starts to have a flow, and we can start to talk about, at that point, almost you can start to talk about energy, because you've connected your foot to your hand. It's like an electric light from the socket to the bulb. The wires fit the whole way and the electricity can pass through because there's a connection. Until then, you're breaking the connection by activating the muscles in the wrong sequence, in the wrong order, and at the wrong time. So we'll do exercise number 5. Turning the foot in, turning the opposite foot out. It's a narrower stance. We're sitting back and upright. There's nothing in the front leg. We're going to move in such a way that everything goes into the front leg. But we want to finish in the center. We don't want to finish over the front foot. So if you look at my front knee, we want to finish with the front knee in this position, not in this position here, which is pretty much just over the beginning of the toes, not over the end of the toes. If it's over the toes, the whole knee has moved forward. We want to come into the center, sinking. Change to the front foot and through, but not with the front knee extending, with the connection going through and out. The upper body softening and the compression of the back leg can be released. So it's like I'm sitting down onto the back leg as I go in. My back leg feels somewhat pressurized. As I change to the front leg, that pressure is disappearing slightly as the back leg expands and I pass my connection to the front foot. Sit back. Don't worry too much about the upper body. Fifth loosening exercise is mainly to train the legs to be doing the right thing, to train the mind to be doing the right thing. Sit back, glide back. I'm lightly balanced over the back leg. There's nothing in the front leg. I release. Knees drop slightly. The legs soften. They receive the weight of the body. The whole body is pressed lightly onto the ground and buoyant. Down. Then I go through this direction. If you look at my fingers, I go down, through to the front foot, under the ground, and through and out. As I'm going out this way, my back leg is unstretching or expanding. When I'm going down, my back leg is getting compressed. As soon as I start to change that direction towards the front foot, the back leg can expand, 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 expand. So as I'm turning that curve round, that's the timing at which the back leg follows it. Down is compressing, out and through, it's expanding. Sit right back. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, then just stick to the basic principles, and these things over time become clear, because this is fairly advanced. Bringing the elastic force through the body is fairly advanced. But that can't happen until all the layers of the principles, the basic principles are in place. If the body's tight, it's not going to happen, as I've said before. So do what you can, ask the right questions. Am I releasing? Yes. Am I moving forward? Yes. Simple, keep it simple. Am I gliding back and staying upright? Yes. Is the back leg released? Yes. Is the weight out of the front leg? Yes. Am I sinking both legs? Yes. Am I continuing to sink onto the front leg? Yes. Is the back leg expanding? Sit back. Sink in. This isn't just movement. This is movement because I'm releasing. Releasing allows the body in. Continue to release to the front leg. Down and through. In form, down, down to the partner's feet, connection down and through. Wave comes through to the hands. As the shoulders drop, as the back leg expands, the wave comes through. Sit right back. We'll go through the form to just a white crane spreads wings. Take your time in the attention posture to find the lift, Feel the tension in the muscles that is needed to lift the body. Feel the release of the muscles around that upright alignment. And feel the consequence of the body pressing lightly onto the ground into buoyancy. If a wind was to blow through the room, the body would definitely sway like a tree. Held very loosely. Yet, there's stability. Strange Tai Chi conundrum of complete looseness and yet complete stability. Mind is resting in the body sensations. In your own practice, take as long as you need to find this balance in yourself. And then from that point, it starts to form. The knees bend. But it's not just the knees bending, it's the legs changing to allow the weight of the body in to press you in onto the right foot. Look, there's no moving across to the right foot. You're sinking through the body to the right leg to release the left and then to push the left across. So your body doesn't move across to find your stability. It drops straight down and then change on the inside to find your stability. Coordinate your timing so you're sinking as you move across, turning as you move across, and turn back. Don't be in a hurry to move this right arm. Wait until the center turns. Center turns, the right shoulder turns. The right shoulder turning is going to pull on the arm. Draw it up into this position. The left arm swings underneath, holding the ball. Fifth loosening exercise, sinking in. Through onto the front leg, down and through. Relax the upper body and the shoulders, the wave comes through to the hands. Now I'm on the front foot turn. Glide in. Position the hips and the back foot. Sink, I'm in the center. Sink down and through to the front leg. Relax the upper body. The wave from the back leg expands and comes through to the hands. Turn to the corner. Glide in. Position the center of the hips to turn the foot in. Sink down to load the legs. Through to the front leg. The wave comes through that turns you to the corner. So the expansion of the back leg turns the left hip. As you sink onto the front leg, you turn to the corner. This is the issuing to the corner. Stay on the front leg, sit back. Turn open. Turn back. Sink into the center. Don't stop in the center, go down and through. Relax the upper body. As the back leg expands, there's the press sinking onto the front leg. Sit back. Down into the center. Through and under. Relax the upper body. Back leg expands, there's the push. Sit back. Turn. Glide in. As you reach the center, the weight goes 50-50. Ball of the foot comes down. Center. Turn in. Sink. Down, load the legs. Through onto the front leg. Relax the upper body. There's the wave into both hands as the back leg expands. Lifting hands. shoulder stroke, down into the center and through. Relax the upper body, wave from the back leg through into the hands. The hands expand slightly as the wave comes through. Move on to the front leg, turning. Lift and release. Going to do that section again. Then I'll unmute us and see if there's any questions. So if there's anything you're not sure of in this section, we can go through it. Next week, we'll move on with another section of the form. I want to make sure that everybody's really good, has got a chance to, and not get it right, but to be able to practice this section really, really well. Be able to know what to look for and to be able to practice in such a way that you get more confident in what am I trying to find as I go into this posture. In the attention posture, wait as long as it takes until you feel your whole self go, here I am. In a class, I might rush us into starting the form before you're actually ready, or you may have been ready or got there already, but in your own practice, try and notice that place where you feel your body change, your mind settle, and you just feel like the water on the pond when you throw a stone just settles. Find that place for yourself. Every time you practice, you should recognize that place. And then start the form. Turn the waist, then the shoulder, then the arm. Sink in and sink through. On the front foot, turn. 100% on the front, take a step. Glide in. As you glide in, the ball of the left foot touches when you reach the center. Turn in. Sink down to load the legs and through to bring a wave through to the arms. Sink to 100% on the front leg. Step. Glide in. As you reach the center, the ball of the right foot touches down. Turn in. Sink down and through. Stay on the front leg. Square. Release back. Down. Load the legs and through to press. Sit back. 100% on the back leg, down into the center and through to push. 100% on the left, turn. All of the left foot goes down as you reach the center. Turn. Sink and through. Wave comes through to the hands. Lifting hands. Sink down connect and through. Arms expand lightly. Onto the right leg, turn and lift. Release into the posture. Upright, one span from the right thumb to the brow. One fist from the body to the left elbow, thumb of the left on the thigh. No weight in the ball of the left foot. Connected and relaxed. I'm going to unmute us all. Can I hear everyone is the question?
Yep.
Yeah, great. Good. Are those postures okay? Hi, Martin, didn't see you there before. Hi. Okay. I know some of you have been doing those postures for a long time. I just want to make sure that the mechanisms and the principles as we go deeper into them are clearer and clearer in each of those postures. So that's why I'm staying with these ones at the beginning of the form, because we know them so well. Right. I don't want us to do complicated postures like fair ladies with shuttles, where it's much easier to get the principles completely out of connection. Okay. If you can get the principles working well, if you can start to get a wave working in these ones, then it's much easier to bring into the other ones in the form. So over to you, really.
More question on the loosening exercises, please.
Yeah.
In the fourth exercise, when you're bent forward and you're moving your shoulders,
Yeah.
do you recommend simply moving the shoulder blades independently of the rest of the body, or would you attempt to create that movement by what you're doing in your feet and your legs?
No, just do it independent.
Okay.
That particular move, that particular posture where you're just hanging forward is simply just to shake the body loose. Okay. There isn't really a principle involved in that
Not
part
connected.
of the exercise. When you bend your knees and you come up, right, you're definitely sinking.
Yeah.
So as you uncurl, you should definitely be dropping your legs to drop your body in, to drop the rest of the body, so the whole body stacks up as it comes upwards. But before that, it's just spaghetti. There's very few places where we just let the body be kind of loose and jangly, and that's one of them. And Master Wang invented that exercise, so there's no reason. It's a loosening exercise, that part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you can turn the hips and let the upper body move as an elephant trunk. But when I roll the shoulders, I don't worry about anything else.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask if I can see one of your postures, please. Can I see you go from single whip into white crane spreads wings? And I'll tell us what to do in terms of timing so everyone can do it together, so I can see as much as I can. So if you find the posture of single whip, just hold that posture. So all the fingers should be touching the thumb. Let your arm be relatively straight so that the joints are open in your right arm and it's out at 90 degrees to your body. Yeah, good. And the fingers of the left hand, there's a straight line from the middle finger all the way through to the elbow. There's no break in the wrist and there's no holding on. It's just as if it's just resting on something flat. Yeah. And that feeling of resting is because the shoulders dropped and connected. So to relax the forearm, try softening the shoulder to allow the arm just to sit onto something. By the whole shoulder softening, yeah, good. Okay, good. So gradually, before you even move forward, you're going to change the front leg, which is the left leg, to start to create some stability in the left leg before you even move on to it. So this is a complete internal change that doesn't involve any movement forwards. You want to soften the front leg and then start to feel what that does to give you the stability that you can move on to. And as you move on to that stability, you're softening it even more. Just working from the center of the body downwards. And then the upper body can soften into that stability too. And you end up coming into the posture of lift hands. Okay, so the core thing that's changing is how you move from two-legged stance into a one-legged stance, using that internal release to give you the stability. Rather than using the body coming over the leg to give you the stability, you're changing your leg first to allow your whole upper body in like a movement of a worm. Great. Good. And the movement of the arms is much more, they stay quite high. If you look at the arms, they don't drop and lift, they stay quite high and almost just turn over. Right, good. So from there, you drop the arms. The right hand protects the groin. The left arm lifts as the body turns up to the height of the shoulder. Turn back and fold at the elbow, one fist from the ear with the left hand. Take a step. As you move in, your left arm is sinking with the body and you're coming into a connected position in the center, and then you're going down and through onto the front leg. Small expansion of the arms as you come through onto the front leg. Good. Turn the hips. As you move onto the right leg, you turn in towards the leg. As you turn back, you start lifting. The arms are opening out. Have a look at my arms. From here, the turning of the hips, all the movement happens in that turning of the hips. So from this position here, I'm going to turn my hips to there. That's the timing for the arms to move. So the arms have got quite a long way to go, and the hips have got a relatively short way to go. You have to coordinate the movement of the arms into that timing of the body to synchronize, well, to coordinate the body. The left arm wipes down the outside of the right, and the right arm pulls through the left. And they're opening out. It's a really big open movement with the palms outwards. There's no bend in the elbows, and it's quite round and open. Yeah. 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 Just keep doing it a few times. Keep going from single whip a few times, and then I can see everybody doing it. And do it in your own timing, and then I can kind of look at what I can see. Okay, have a look. Have a look. The first one, moving from lift hands, is a strong, alive posture. It's like you've got to feel it's not hard like this, and it's not soft like this. It's somewhere in between. It's quite proud. The arms have to be kind of almost, I think, kind of young saplings, and the way they're kind of like when they grow in kind of like April and May, they're kind of full and turgid and alive, and the arms need to be like that rather than kind of soft and small. But likewise, they're not hard and wooden. They're somewhere in between. When the arms drop, this is the change in the body that drops the arms, okay? And it's the same as the beginning of the form, where you have the arms here and you change the body and you change the body and you change the shoulders and you keep changing the body and you keep changing the torso and shoulder, and it drops the arms. It's exactly the same movement that drops the arm. So you've got the arms in this position. Think of it like the beginning of the form. You're going to do exactly, you're on one leg, you're on the left leg, but you're going to do exactly the same to drop the arms. You're going to soften the leg. You've got to feel the movement in the lower back. You've got to feel the change through the torso. You've got to feel the change in the shoulders, okay? You've only got a certain amount of time to create those changes. And in those small changes, this arm has to move all that distance, right? So the coordination and the synchronization is a question you can ask. Is everything still changing while my arms are dropping? And by the time my arms are dropped and the right arm's protecting the groin, the left arm's on the quad, fully released, stable and fully loose. That's the condition you want to be in, so that when you turn, this one lifts, and when you turn, you sink, this one comes back. Then you step, then you're into the center and through, okay? Now, it looks like all it is a movement of the arm, but what you have to realize is that in every single posture of the form, it's the principles that make things move. It's the change of the principle, or the understanding of the sinking inside the body, that organizes the outside movements of the body. And that's the place we want to get to with our practice. So it's not that you just put the arm down, because that's independent movement of the arm. It has to, everything in your whole body, right from inside the body, outside the body, and the mind have to work together to create the changes we're looking for. Okay? Have a go from single whip again. This is why I'm staying with this beginning bit of the form, because even in the big, every single move's got the principles working through it. Good. Yeah, good, Toby. Good. Can you feel a difference? You need to shout at your computer so I can hear you.
Yes.
Can you feel a difference in working like that?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Right. Good. Okay. Going to do one more little bit and then we'll call it a night. We'll push you hard tonight. If you imagine you were in it was like there's mist all around the body. Okay. When you turn your hips, that's going to send the mist moving around you. That's how you want your arms to move as you go into white crane. So from this position here, when you turn the hips, that's what you want. Okay? When you turn your hips, because you're turning your hips, you're turning your shoulder, it's pulling on your arm. This one is kind of spiraling up this way and expanding up and out the whole time. It's not just moving into a position randomly, it's spiraling up and out and getting big in order to come in again. So from expanded, which is lifting up, you're releasing and drawing in and reconnecting into the posture. That's when the body connects. So the opening up, you can exaggerate a little bit. Crown of the head, spiraling straight up, and all the movements of the arms following it. I want you to feel as if you're spiraling from the inside upwards to the crown of the head. Forget the arms, just think of the center and the crown of the head, creating that spiraling up movement. And let the rest of the body follow it. So you've got like an upward corkscrew and the mist just swirls around you and the hands follow on that line. Okay, so it's like the core essence of it is that you're spiraling straight up. Let's try it a couple of times, see. From shoulder stroke or from single whip, you can go through the whole lot. Up to you. Let the arms be secondary. Let the crown of the head be pushed up from the turning of the hips. As long as the body's riding up, you're fine. Crown of the head straight up. From the foot to the hips to the crown of the head, spiraling up. Creating a vortex around the body that the arms flowing. Kath, all the fingers touching the thumb. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Right, now you're doing, now it's getting closer because the body's more connected and more moving as a unit from the center. Peter, don't lead with the elbows. Don't have the elbows pointed, right? Let it come from the shoulders because the shoulders are closer to the core. Let the arms be thrown into it. Don't move the elbow. Don't let the elbows be pointed. Yeah, better. Good. Has anyone got any questions? Have I explained it in a way that you understand?
After that spiral up through the body, from the foot to the center to the head,
Yeah,
the body then settles on the floor
yeah,
and an expansion comes from there to the
yeah.
hands? Or are you saying that the expansion comes to the hands from the spiraling up?
No, it's not from the spiraling up. It's
That
when you
comes
think.
up to the head.
Yeah, it's when you think that the force comes up. Right, because if the body's moving up and you're opening up, you've got force and movement going in the same direction, which is not quite what we want.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute. Okay, right. We're going to leave it there for tonight.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Luke.
Pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank
Luke.
you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
See you guys.